point is they were out of sync with the world. I used to live 10 miles from a 2-story Cabela's. It's opening fishing weekend. I can't help but think about it. If you go into a 2-story Cabela's, do you know how much fishing stuff that is? And there was a tunnel where you could walk through and look at fish on both sides, muskies, northerns, catfish, crappies that were just huge because they were in these large tanks and kept well. And then as you walk by, there was all the lures. And you know, the lures, I don't know if they catch fish, but they sure catch fisher people. And they have these rods about the weight of half a feather. And yet they can hold up to a great white shark. They're amazing. And in every color of the rainbow. You know, you go there, you just want to, I'm not even that much of a fisher person, but you just want something. And you want to go out fishing. Well, imagine if you went into Cabela's and pulled out your phone, if you had one of those, and like I have the Upper Room Devotional on my phone. I sat down on a bench and read the Upper Room Devotional. This week, one of the devotions said this. This week it said, there's only one task, the task of love. We are called by God to live this life with love for everyone. All that we do can be an expression of God's love. However mundane the task, perform it with a generous spirit and graceful heart. And the most insignificant act God can use and bless. We're going to seem a little out of sync with the world if we do that. Especially if then we stand up and we look around Cabela's and we don't look at the fishing stuff, but we look at the people and we wonder what are their needs and what are their hurts. We say a silent prayer for them, and then in the midst of it we think, oh my goodness, Stephanie and Mackenzie were asking about volunteers for Vacation Bible School in this summer's Monday programming. Wow, I need to go and I need to talk with them and see what I can do. Or I think somebody was asking about serving during fellowship time and summer's coming on. What can I do? I just need to leave Cabela's and go take care of some things that are important. We're going to act a bit differently if we start thinking less about ourselves and all the things we want. And oh, there's so many good things. And we start thinking about all the things others need. We might even find ourselves going through the garage and picking up a couple fishing poles and taking them over to the New Life Center and selling them, having them be sold to help other people who don't even have a roof over their heads get back on their feet again. Pentecost is really all about a change of focus. As I was telling the kids, the disciples were down, they were depressed, they were lost, Jesus had left, they didn't know what to do, they were focused in on their own needs and losses and hurts and confusion, and suddenly something, the Spirit, changed their focus, and they began looking outward. And they began telling the story that needed to be told of Jesus' love. We can begin our days asking God, help me change my focus today, from my wants to your dreams. A good question to ask is, what would it be like if I went out into the world today and thought no one is beyond your reach? Even the conversations we have are going to be different. You're going to meet someone in just a bit, a short 2-minute video. I don't know if this person's a Christian. I don't know if this person has a church, but I know this person is doing what Jesus would do. And Jesus would have done the exact same thing, I expect. And I invite you to enjoy how she went the extra mile to connect with this person who came into her place of business each day. And I invite you to listen to how much it meant to this person that she went the extra mile to connect with him. Angie, if you would share the video, please.
This week, Steve Hartman stopped for coffee on the road. Grounds for a story that just had to be told.
For a deaf person like Ibby Paracha of Leesburg, Virginia, getting the drink you want at Starbucks can be a tall order. But Ibby says not here, thanks to a barista who recently did something truly grande.
When I came in, the first thing she did was she wrote the note. So I thought maybe she had a question for me or something. But it really wasn't a question at all. And as I read through it, it shocked me.
He immediately posted this picture of the note, which read, I've been learning ASL, American Sign Language, just so you can have the same experience as everyone else.
What can I get for you today?
That barista is Crystal Payne.
Do you Trent iced coffee?
She's new here. In fact, she'd only waited on Ibby once before deciding to go home, go on the internet, and learn sign language for him.
Maybe I spent like 3 or more hours on it.
Getting ready to take one order?
Yeah. If he's a regular and I want to make that connection with my regulars, I should be able to at least ask him what he wants to drink. What do you want to drink?
Today, Crystal knows everything she needs to wait on Ibby.
Caramel frappuccino, please.
And that really is the extent of their interaction. To Crystal, it's no big deal. But to Ibby, who says navigating a hearing world is often frustrating, what Crystal did was a wonderful gesture that he will never forget. He even saved the note.
It's something that was very inspirational, so I wanted to keep it in the frame.
Sometimes customer service gets a bad rap, and it's often well deserved.
Hi, what can I get for you today?
But there are those frontline workers who go above and beyond, not for a tip or because the boss is watching,
Nice.
but because kindness is who they are, and the customer, all they care about.
And it's just something that really gave me genuine happiness. Even now. Yeah. Even now. Still smiling.
Steve Hartman, on the road, in Leesburg, Virginia.
And she saw someone on the fringes. And like Pentecost, learned the language just enough to tell him he was valued, that he was appreciated, that she cared enough to learn a bit about him. Your presence here matters to us. That's a powerful, powerful way to be church. To simply find ways of saying your presence here matters to us. A friend of mine posted this last week on Facebook. We belong to Christ. We lift up Christ when we help remove the sting of shame or abuse or prejudice inflicted upon people, and they retain their human dignity and sense of worth. We lift him up when we side with the outcast and the lonely, when we overcome the boundaries that divide people from one another. Belonging to Christ isn't about feeling warm and fuzzy or good about ourselves. It's a way of living and acting as Christ called us to do. It's not something programmed. It's learning the language someone else speaks in. It's learning to listen to what someone else's needs are. It's trusting God might be at work in us, even when we don't see it. Sometimes we think we have to do the big things, but it's not the big things. It's the connecting in the small ways where the Spirit can move and touch others' hearts and make people receptive to believing again that God cares and the world cares and we care. And that is the beginning of telling the story of Jesus' love. That is the beginning of the Pentecost Spirit shining through us. May the Pentecost Spirit indeed shine